metaphysical friends. I'm here to discuss with you guys crystal cleansing. I like to do what you guys inspire me to do. Many people have asked about crystal cleansing, so let's go into it. All crystals, periodically, should be cleansed, and a lot of it depends largely on your sun sign. So if you are a fire sign, a earth sign, air sign, or water sign, under each circumstance, ideally you should bless your crystal in a separate ceremony. So I'm starting with the fire signs because the first astrological sign is Aries. So let's talk to you Aries, you Leos, and you Sagittarians. Now let's say you want to charge and bless one of your quartz crystals. Aries vibrates to the head, to the mind, to crown chakra energy, hence let's start with quartz. Now, you'd want to bless your crystal in some sort of warmth, the heat, or in this case, let's say, a lit candle. Now it is indeed lit, but the idea is to charge it via heat or warmth, or in this case, primordial flame. What you do is you simply hold your crystal over the flame. Point into it if the natural facet does indeed do that. Let it absorb the heat, pull the heat in, and what you are in essence doing is, yes, you're charging your crystal. But I have that flame down fairly low because there's no reason to burn your fingers doing it. This doesn't have to be operation. You just simply want to warm up the stone with fire. So you've got a nice charged stone now. It's ready to go. It's cleansed for you. Now, let's talk to you earth signs. You guys are the Tauruses, Virgos, Capricorns. Now, first, take a dish. Here's a beauty. I like it because it's from the Tut exhibit. It's got a lot of those Egyptian hieroglyphics around it. So go for something, ceremonial. Now, my sister-in-law Barbara was kind enough on her trip back from Australia to bring me sand from the red center of Australia. So what you would do is pour this sand on the dish. Perfecto. Lovely. Then take the stone that you'd like to charge. In this case, I've chosen 5 aventurines, a feldspar. Whoops, one's already jumping into the cleansing area. But that happens. I mean, stones are alive. They're organic. So one's already there. Now remember, with the 5 stones, the reason I've chosen 5, earth, air, fire, water, ether, the 5 points of a star. So you take the stone that actually placed itself, you place your other crystals thusly, and you've got charged crystals in your sand. So as far as duration is concerned, you decide. Keep it in the sand, on the sand rather, at the surface for a day, an hour, a month, many weeks, a year. It doesn't really matter, and you know what the great part is too? When you feel though that you've got that vibe where your crystals are charged, recycle your sand, use it again. Now over the years I've collected sand from all over the world. So I have some crystals and pieces of wooden pine cones being blessed in the sand from the beach of Palanga in Lithuania. I have sand from Salem, Massachusetts. I collect bits of earth all over the world. I might even say one of the best ways to charge your crystals in earth is to bury your stone in the earth, maybe even during a lunar cycle. If you're lucky enough though, you might have to find this on the internet. I just lucked out. I found a quartz chamber that a dude that I know really sells fabulous metaphysical stuff. So what I might suggest is take one of your aventurines, if you're an earth sign, put it in the quartz chamber. Close the lid, and then the duration that satisfies you, that you feel cleanses your crystal, you've got it. You've got cleansed energy. Okay, so you earth signs have a lot of choices, which is great. Now, let's go over to you air signs, and we'll discuss the Geminis, the Libras, the Aquarians. Even though Aquarians are water bearers, they're still earth signs. So, how would you charge your crystals? Via, I think the best by far is smoke. And here's one choice. We've got a charcoal lit. First we would take some frankincense. Think I have enough of it? And you put your frankincense on the charcoal, self-igniting charcoal. You can get anywhere, it's very inexpensive. These are frankincense tears. Then, I might even add Lakota white sage maybe just take a piece from the bundle. You don't have to necessarily smudge with it. That's for a different ceremony, for a house blessing, but you've got your smoke going. And you know what? Just for that Mars energy, that powerful energy, I throw in just a pinch of myrrh. Then you take, let's say for instance, you air signs again, Geminis, Libras, Aquarians. You would take your Herkimer diamond and hold it over the smoke. You can even use your breath, your soul, to cleanse the crystal. My Reiki master taught me that one. Sometimes I might even suggest hold it out during a storm where the wind is blowing. Who has seen the wind? No one, but it's there and it'll bless your crystal. Okay, now, you water signs, Cancers, Scorpios, Pisces. Here's what I would suggest. Holy water, melted snow, rainwater during a thunder and lightning storm that creates negative ions. And negative ions are good for human beings. They fill us with positive energy. But here's the way Daniel and Nancy does it. You take a wine aerator. I would fill this with my Herkimer diamonds that I want to charge or cleanse. It's the coolest. Then you take a glass of distilled pure water. In this case, I've got one of Nancy's goblets with me. It says on it, she liked her men like her cocktails. Neat, but with a twist. Then you pour the water over your Herkimer diamonds. You've cleansed the Hercs, but you've also got a bit of a potion. You could put these crystals out in the snow if you want, out in the rain if you want. This is one way that I like to do it, is to cleanse them through this sacred or holy waters that I collect. And of course, if you're daring and willing, take a sip. Herkimer diamonds emit pure, positive energy. That's why I don't know if I would drink the energy field of every different stone. I really wouldn't, but Herkimer's, pure. In fact, although Nan and I have been blessing our stones this way for many years with holy waters, just recently, in the past few years, Dan Aykroyd's dad and his family, came out with a product called Crystal Head Vodka. It's considered to be extremely pure, and outrageously, it's triple filtered through Herkimer diamonds. I'm really not much of a drinker myself at all, but once I heard Herkimer diamonds, but really, the panacea is to take your stones, your crystals, your rose quartz, put them in sunlight or moonlight in a windowsill. And depending on also what you hope to attain from that energy field. For instance, in moonlight, if it's waxing to full and you put your rose quartz out there, you're creating intention. You're programming your crystal with love. If you put it in the window during a waning moon, you're putting out an energy field of let something reside, let something ebb, maybe let a pain or a problem or a hurt disappear. So sunlight or moonlight, yin and yang, silver and gold, they're very powerful. So the panacea, if you don't understand all that astrological stuff and you don't want to necessarily have be working in a potion company like Danny does, just a windowsill. It can be very simple. Let nature do it for you. So enjoy your crystals, bless them, and may you be blessed. It's fun, they're organic, enjoy them. You know what, while we're discussing all this magical energy, let's consult the cards. Okay, so let's see what the vibrations have to say today, especially now that right in front of you, Daniel swallowed a Herkimer elixir. What the vibes say this today? The first vibration that comes through is as follows. Number 1. 12-12. So, you're thinking in terms of 11-11 opening up the doorway, which it certainly is. This vibration speaks about the so-called end of days. What will exist when everything is allegedly gone? Well, the stones will still be here, and the iron earth will still be here. You know what? We'll be here too. But how interesting. 12-12. I'm not going to explain this, although I could go on for another whole video discussing this. You figure it out. You know what it means. Number 1. Take a look at number 2. Wow, that's amazing, 12-12. Second vibe says this. Okay, It's 3 vibrational fields, but what it suggests is, it's interesting rather, it's one of my paintings of New York City. What the vibe suggests is, because it's ruled by Saturn and Libra is, and that's a big life lesson with your thought processes. So it's interesting, the first vibration that came through is, if 12 represents maybe Sag, the 12th energy field, the December, and Libra now comes through, the message here is, if you ever feel doubt, if you ever feel lack of clarity, if your clarity is diffused, your mantra should be, every problem contains a solution. Okay, so vibrational field number 3 is this. One word, victory. Now remember though, you don't get a victory without a struggle. But this isn't a struggle. This is a victory. It's ruled by Jupiter and Leo. I just noticed though when we got this vibe that predicts goals will be reached, negotiations will proceed, problems will be overcome. But it's just interesting. We got 3, we got 6, we got 12. Something's happening here. And you guys know, you crystal lovers know, the crystals are doing this. One last thing, by the way. If you're lucky enough to have a crystal bed, sometimes maybe even bless your stones, or your cards, or yourself on a crystal bed. So you know what? I'd like to dedicate this video to Mr. Jack LaLanne, because I remember being a little boy and being very influenced by a man who was way ahead of his time, talking about organic energy, life force, getting yourself strong, living a full life. You know, this man lived to be almost 100 years old, and he's an inspiration to all of us. May I be an inspiration to you. May you be an inspiration to me. God bless that man.